I've travelled to High Wycombe today and I'm here at Hurco's head office, and I've come to look at a 5-axis machining centre, and I'm going to talk about the machine to David Waghorn, Managing Director. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Paul.
Dave, tell us about the Hurco VMX30Ui 5-axis machine. Okay,
the VMX30Ui is the most popular of our 5-axis machines. It's the best seller. It's a 5-axis version of our VMX30T model. So it has a 12,000 RPM spindle, good power, good swarf management, and it's a trunnion-based machine.
So this type of 5-axis machine, would it lend itself to smaller components, precision parts?
Yes, certainly. It probably best suits cubes or cylinders. This model will take something up to about 250 to 300 millimeters cubed.
Okay, and what about the weight of a part that you could put on here? Would it be in a fairly small trunnion?
Yeah, it'll handle up to 200 kilograms. A lot of our customers seem to work in quite small parts. They tend to be very complex parts. We have a lot of customers in the motor racing and the aerospace sectors, and what they try to do is get as much machining done in a single handling.
Okay, and 5-axis machines, there are a lot of 5-axis machines on the market, so what makes this model of the Hurco machine different?
Yeah, I think the Hurco control certainly has a big impact on why someone would make a decision to buy a VMX30U. There's a great flexibility in the ways in which you could program the machine. Also, typical with all Hurco machining centres, we tend to build a lot of strength and power into the machine, so it's a very robust piece of machinery as well. So the combination of machine build and capabilities of the control software really make it an attractive proposition.
Make it stand out. So let's explore the control a bit more. Does this use the Ultimotion feature, this machine?
Yes, it does. It has full simultaneous 5-axis capability, and we're able to run Ultimotion, which is the high-speed smoothing capability, in full 5-axis. And so what you're able to do is move around 3D parts very quickly and keep the surface finish to a good standard.
So if I was to summarise from what you've just said, a Hurco in terms of its build, so its weight and its rigidity, its speed and performance due to the software that you use, and also the flexibility on the control, are 3 big characteristics in the benefits of the machine.
Yeah, flexibility, ease of use. Awful lot of our customers are only making one-offs, small volumes, never quite sure what the next job that's going to come in through the door is, and that's really where all those items together really
come in. So this particular model, how many of these machines would you sell now a year?
Well, that's a good question. Probably about sort of 10 to 12 a year, possibly something like that, up to 20. What we're seeing with 5-axis sales is, I have a little graph, I sort of keep a record of how we sell. 5-axis is the one that's almost doubling in volume every year. So,
and then is that sort of reducing your 3-axis sales, or are you still maintaining the 3-axis sales but you're just introducing machine tools into different markets maybe?
3-axis has stayed strong, but there's no question the growth area in the market is 5-axis. And at the moment the 5-axis trunnion is the most popular. I think it's the most, it's the cheapest way of making a 5-axis machine. And you can do an awful lot with that type of approach.
So this particular machine, if we look at the characteristics, what sort of X-axis travel have you got and Y-axis travel?
Okay, so it's 760 in X, it's 508 in Y, 520 in Z.
And the spindle is a 12,000 spindle?
Spindle's a 12,000 spindle, yeah. It's a belt-driven spindle with chiller, Cattle BT40.
The tool changer?
Tool changer is 24 as standard, but we do also sell a 40-station option, and they're both very popular, so we're about 50-50.
And as I see the machine move here, can you achieve negative angles?
Yes, you can. It's minus 30 degrees in the A, I think, to plus 110, and then full rotation on the C-axis.
So that does give you a lot more versatility, because some 5-axis machines you can't achieve the negative angle, so you can get off.
Yes, you can get in very close and right up behind the machine.
So this machine uses the popular WinMax control. Why is it popular, Dave? What features and benefits does it offer?
Okay, where we have a real strength on the WinMax control is we have a very powerful conversational programming side, but also we have all the NC capabilities that you'd expect from any machine on the market. What our customers like to do is when there's an opportunity to use conversational programming, it can be very quick and easy to get a finished job done or a certain feature done with only a matter of a couple of keystrokes. It's also then very easy to go back and edit the program. A really good feature that we have on this control is what we call, which helps itself towards 5-axis programming, is what we call transform plane. The idea is that you can program whatever features you like in a 2D configuration. You then rotate it to whatever plane you need. So a cube can be programmed as 6 sides, each as 2D items, and then the plane is just shifted to the plane you need.
And is that unique to Hurco?
That's, it's certainly, I don't know of other controls that do it so easily as we do. So something like a transform plane, something like this with quite complicated features on them, it's only a matter of a few lines of code to come up with a finished part.
So could you program from scratch a 5-axis simultaneous machining process on this control?
Normally you wouldn't. So the moment you go to a 3D contour or a very complex part that was delivered by IGES, you would normally program that within an NC file. Where the Hurco conversational side comes in is most parts aren't simultaneous 5-axis. Most parts are angle drilled holes, machine features, tapped, all sorts of, or maybe a complex pocket. And that's where the 2D side would come in, and you would simply drop that 2D part into your NC file if you needed it.
And if you were a 5-axis user of another type of machine and you had programs already written in, let's say, a FANUC control or FANUC code, can that be imported into this version of WinMax?
Yes, certainly. We have full ISO compatibility. We call it industry standard NC. And it has, in addition to the standard NC features you'd expect, it also has a lot of the fancy G codes that are used for 5-axis programming, such as tool point orientation, and there's a very nice retract feature as well, that if you're in a part and you want to change the tip, it'll allow you to retract from the part without any of the other axes moving. It's quite a nice thing.
And with 5-axis, it's not just about the machine, it's about the support. Hurco offers that in abundance. You've got plenty of applications engineers on hand to be able to assist people.
Yes, certainly. We have 5 applications engineers spread out throughout the country. We have a hotline that someone can access whenever. And then, of course, we have a full network of service engineers as well. With Hurco, you get the control, the machine, all in one package. So if you call a Hurco person, he will support everything. He won't be saying, oh, I'll have to get the FANUC engineer in, I'll have to get the High 9 guy out to this. If he's a Hurco guy, he'll know everything about the machine.
So there we have it, a real education on what's available from Hurco here in the UK. For more information on this machine or any Hurco machines, you can visit mtdcnc.com or Hurco Direct.